Welcome to part 2 of how to add a blog post to your website. At the end of part 1, we saw what a final formatted blog post looks like, and this was the screen we had seen. Now we'll continue from here. Here's how to make an active link. One thing I would like to point out is when you're making an active link, you should not use the words "click here." You should actually have a phrase in that link that tells somebody where they're going. So we're going to make a link to an article about why top 10 lists are so popular. By including a phrase for what you're linking to, it does help with SEO, and it also just makes for a better transition from the person who's reading your blog post. So, highlight the phrase you want to have as an active link. Click this little link icon here, and a little window pops up. This link building tool window gives us a few different options. By default, it actually has the link type as internal path. Internal path would be if you wanted your blog post to link to a page within your website. Say, for example, I wanted to link to the portfolio page of our website. I would start typing in the word portfolio, and the system would offer up options for pages that have the word portfolio in them. On our site, we only have one page that has portfolio, so that's why it only offers up one option. If you had other options with the same word in it, it would give those up for you to click on. So you would click on it, you would click OK, and that would be a link to a page within your website. However, since we are talking about linking to an outside website, we will go to the link type pull-down menu and go to URL. Now here is where we would put in the URL of the website we want to take somebody to. I've already copied and pasted here this link to the website I want to take people to, and as you can see from the URL, the article is about why top 10 lists are so great. Now before clicking OK, there's one thing you have to do that's pretty important. When somebody goes to another website, you don't want them leaving your website. So in order to open up a new window for the website you're taking somebody to, you would click on the Target tab, go to the drop-down menu, toggle to New Window, then click OK. That takes somebody to a new window, keeping your website in a window open on the desktop. The two other things we can do with this link building tool is, in addition to sending somebody to another page within your website or to another website completely, you can also use link to anchor in the text, and that would drop somebody down to an article on the same page, assuming that was a really long page and you didn't think somebody would scroll all the way down without seeing a list of the topics on that page. That we're going to save for another time. But the last thing you can do is also have it go to an email. In that case, you could put in one or more email addresses here. You can actually put in the subject that you want to appear on the pop-up window of the email, and you can put a message in the body, though there's really no reason to do that. You would want the visitor to do that themselves. So anyway, the Advanced tab is nothing you really have to worry about, and that covers the pieces and parts of the link building tool. Okay, now that we're done with that, go back to the icon with the 4 arrows and click on it to minimize the screen, and you're back to your original blog post. However, we're not done just yet. We still have one more thing to do. We still have to add page titles and meta descriptions, and those are under this section called meta tags. Now just a quick reminder of what page titles and meta descriptions are. On Google results, the page titles appear here, and the meta descriptions here. And we can control those through your website, and the better your keywords are to incorporate into the page titles and meta descriptions, the better your SEO is going to be. Okay, so here's how that works. Find the keyword list we provided you. For every website that we do SEO for, we give you a list that could look like this, as we did for a plastic surgeon. Or it could look like this, as we've done for a home builder. But either way, you should have that list printed out and always handy whenever you're writing a blog post, because those are the keywords you'll need to incorporate into your blog posts. Again, since we're using our website as the example, these are the overarching keyword phrases we use in most of our blogs. You'll see that website design Columbus, Ohio and Columbus web design have only a few hundred searches a month, a lot less than responsive web design, which has 18,000 a month. However, we prefer the top two phrases because they have the words Columbus in them. As you can see in our blog post, I've used two of our keyword phrases, Website Design Columbus, Ohio and Columbus Web Design. Those are keywords that I want to use in the page title as well. It shows I've used a whole bunch of other ones in the past, but I'm just going to go ahead and put them in here. A few very important notes about page titles. Google and other search engines only read the first 65 to 70 characters and spaces. So if you add several keyword search terms and extend them out past 100 characters, probably not going to do you any good. Another important thing to mention is your company name is not important to go in the page title. Your company name is probably in your website hundreds of times and in nobody else's website. So if somebody's going to search for your company by name, you're going to pop up in Google search results in the number 1 or 2 spot. The page titles ideally are for the things you do, the phrases people would search to find you, assuming they don't know your name. Another very important point is not to put commas in between phrases like this. When you do that, Google and other search engines see these as distinctly different phrases. It'll see this as 3 phrases. Website design as 1 phrase, Columbus, and then Ohio. And people searching for Columbus or Ohio are not looking for web design firms. So to keep this phrase intact without being separated by a comma is really critical. The description should be a full sentence because people do see that on Google's search results. I'm just going to copy a sentence from our blog, and it is important also to have a keyword phrase in your meta description as well. So this is all SEO. You have keyword phrases in your blog posts, on your page titles, in your meta description. And that covers everything about how to post a blog. One other thing I want to point out before you save is there is a publishing option tab. If you want to unclick it, your post will not go live until you go back in and click published. However, if you're ready to have your blog post go live, scroll to the bottom, click save, and you are done. The next screen that comes up will be your blog post. You're still in your content management system, which is why you're seeing a little sentence here and the view and edit tabs. However, if you want to check your blog and see how it looks, scroll up to the home icon in the top left corner and click, and it'll take you to the home page of your website where you can take a look at your news article. You can click it and double check to make sure that your headlines and subheads look good. Make sure your bullet points, if you've done them, all line up. And also check out your links to make sure that they work and that they do in fact open in a new window. If not, you'll want to go back and correct that. All you need to do now is go to the very top right of your screen, log out, and live happily ever after. Thank you for taking the time to go through this blog post tutorial with us, and happy blogging.